everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Pure Joy Podcast. This is Elena Love, and I'm your host, and I'm so excited that you are here. And if you're watching me on YouTube, this is like my second or third episode using YouTube. And of course, welcome to everybody listening to me on all the other modalities like iTunes and Stitcher and Spotify and all those great places. And today being almost mid-November, I want to talk to you today about how not to self-sabotage, how to basically, instead of saying how to not self-sabotage, because all of our words that we speak are forming reality. So how to manifest or how to imagination creation your perfect holiday season through the end of 2019. Like, isn't that great? Like, how can we take the rest of our year, which is about a month and a half, and make it the best ever? Because I know a lot of things are woven into the holidays. You know, whether you're listening to this and you're in the US or anywhere in the world, we all have different ways of celebrating together. But the biggest thing that comes up for people is, you know, I tend to overeat or I tend to self-sabotage during the holidays. And how do I not do that? And how do I stay awake? And so today, let's talk a little bit about how to stay awake during this time when it's easy to go to sleep, because we're in winter. Well, we're not in winter, we're in fall, and we're going to hit winter in about a month. On the 21st of December, as you all know, is our solstice, our beautiful, beautiful ritual of welcoming back the light. The darkest day of the year is December 21st, and then the light starts to return. We celebrate that by lighting lights. And that's what has turned into the Christmas holiday. The original pagans would celebrate the 21st, which is the season change. And so I love to celebrate the earth by recognizing all the changes of seasons. So as we come up to that December 21st and we get through the next month, which is November and most of December, let's look at what some things are that can happen. We celebrate by going and visiting family, or family visits us. And so that can bring up some old childhood stuff. And it's nobody's wrong in this. We are all just doing our absolute best with the tools we have in every moment. But sometimes what's happened to me in the past, my parents passed in 2018, so this is my first holiday season where they are not on the planet. But in the past, I would go and visit, and we just tend to get into some of our old patterns of the way we think. And food is one of the perfect ways for us to kind of numb ourselves or put ourselves to sleep. So that's what I mean by staying awake. And so what are some things we can do? One is to go in with your eyes wide open and maybe even take a journal out and write down, like, if I could have the perfect holiday season, what would it look like? All right, instead of gaining the typical 5 to 10 pounds that a lot of people gain, maybe I'll say, I'm going to stay in really good shape. I'm going to feel super good. I'm going to have lots of energy. And, you know, I'm just going to avoid any sicknesses that want to come through. My body is just going to like let those go and let them just roll right by me. I'm going to keep my body super healthy and super dynamic and just super charged up. So there's a few physical things we can do, and there's a few emotional things we can do, and there's a few spiritual things we can do in order to make all of this happen. And one of them is that we can keep our meditation going. Now, anybody who's been following my Love Camp courses or who's been following me, you guys know that I really promote meditation. And I have a ritual of getting up every morning, and before I do anything else, I mean, I'll drink some water and go to the bathroom, but other than that, I sit down at my little altar that I have in my bedroom. I light a candle. Now I have these super fun little twinkly lights that I just flip a switch and turn on. And as the days get shorter, it's very dark here in Bend when I get up at 5:30 or 6. So I light those lights, sit there. I have a few crystals on my altar, some pictures, whatever speaks to you, and then I'll sit down and do 20 minutes of meditation. Now that could be through an app like something called Insight Timer. That can also just be focusing on your breath, just noticing the feel of the breath coming in and out of the nose. Another great one that I love to do is called a third eye meditation, where I'm just focusing kind of on the third eye, but the expansiveness of the third eye, like the peripheral expansiveness of my third eye, and just breathe. You could have music on, you could have it be silent. If you have other people in the household, you might want to wear headphones, like noise canceling headphones, but whatever that is for you. Another thing you can do if you don't feel like meditating or you just feel like you're not quite ready for that, 20 minutes seems like a long time. So start out with 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, so for 1 minute, I'm going to set my timer and I'm just going to check in with me. Hi, me. How are you? How are you, body? How are you, higher self? How are you, consciousness? Wow, I'm this being in this body. Wow, what does that feel like? Hi, I'm here. That's it. Say hello to yourself. And that's a great thing to do every morning. Just wake up, take some breaths, even if you have a partner next to you or kids running in. Take some breaths just to be with you. And that's going to really bring you into the awakeness of yourself and your own soul's evolution as you move throughout the day on this planet. Who do I want to be today? How do I want to be today? What interactions do I want to have? Do I want everything to flow with grace and ease? Set that intention. So intention setting is another really great one. And that's usually what meditation does. You sit down, you focus on your breath, and you set an intention for your day. And of course, we're going to intend grace and ease or breath and no stress. Take some deep breaths. And then another really great tool is journaling. So number 1 is meditation. Number 2 is journaling. And that can even just be like, oh, I had a really weird dream. Let me just write about that. Or like, oh, I feel a little, like, how does my body feel today? Oh, I'm noticing a little bit of tension in my shoulders. Let me just write that down. Oh, I'm feeling maybe a little dehydrated or a little headache. So just checking in on how the body feels today. Or, oh, I feel a little anxiety because I have this test coming up, or I have this thing I have to do at work and it's making me a little nervous. Write all that down, take another 10 minutes. And if you feel like right now you're listening to this saying, well, I don't have time to do that, guess what? That's what alarm clocks are for. So start setting your alarm for 5:30 instead of 6. You got 30 minutes to yourself that you normally wouldn't have, that you'd be sleeping. Which, yes, what happens when you start to set that alarm for 5:30 is you'll naturally want to go to bed earlier in the first week. And so like for me, I'm usually in bed by 10, I'm awake by 5:30, but I don't set an alarm. I wake myself up. You can also do a fun experiment of setting the intention of waking yourself up before your alarm. So I'm going to set my alarm for 5:30 and I'm going to wake myself up at 5:29. And I do it all the time. I'll wake up right before it goes off because I don't really want to be woken up by alarm. Even if I have a little crystally sound, it can be a little bit shocking. Actually, mine I have on the iPhone. It's like little birds tweeting, which is kind of a nice way to wake up because it feels like that would be natural. Okay, so then the next thing you can do is set intentions for your body for your holiday season. So, okay, I set my intention for my day. Let me go ahead and journal or set my intention for my month, for the rest of the holidays, like all the way through January 1st, which is, when all the celebrations and the parties. I want to stay in shape. I want to stay at the weight I'm at or even lose some weight or whatever your intention is for you. I want to feel good. I want to have energy. I want to be kind. I want to make sure all my interactions are loving. So I want to only attract people into my life that are going to be loving and kind. If you have someone in your life that you can't avoid that doesn't make you feel that way, then set the intention. So another really great thing is called the 15-minute miracle, which is a technique I learned a long time ago. So for 15 minutes, you focus on your spouse or your children or anybody in your life that you feel like is maybe not completely harmonious with you. And you just write as many things as you can in that 15 minutes, up to 100 things that you love about them. And guess what? That person will start showing up as that person you love again. And this works. That's why it's called the 15-minute miracle. It works every time. So you can start miraculously changing your relationships just by focusing on the good things. So because we are such amazing manifestors and creators with our imagination, whatever we focus on about another person, including driving by someone in a car or seeing things, which I practice all the time, like I'll notice something that I'm not happy about and I'll just start giving them the benefit of the doubt. Oh, maybe they're in a hurry or maybe they're late for work, or you never know what's happening in that person's life. They're really stressed out. So just sending love to people in traffic, sending love to people that maybe you at a cashier, instead of taking on her energy, you can just say, hey, how's your day going? Like, wow, I really admire something about them. Like you have pretty nails, or just find something and try and make their day as opposed to waiting for everybody to make your day. So you can do this with your spouse as well. Wake up and say something beautiful to them and something true and honest. And so these are all great things that are going to actually really weave into your holidays. And then the next thing you can do, so those are kind of spiritual things you can do and mental things you can do. And the next thing you can do is start looking at your habits. And one of them that happens during the holidays is a lot more food is coming into our lives that we don't normally encounter, like, pumpkin pies and cakes and things that, there's more food around than what we would normally choose to eat. So willpower doesn't work, as we know. Like, you can have willpower till about maybe 4 or 5 o'clock all day. You pass up the cake at work, you pass up this and you pass up that. And then at one point, your willpower just kind of breaks down. So you can set your intention that you're going to only eat food that's healthy, which is great. Yes, definitely do that. But also just remove things from your sight. If you can't remove them from your house, remove them from your line of vision. A lot of us have secondary refrigerators out in the garage, possibly. If you don't, maybe you have another space you can keep things, or even hide things in the back of the refrigerator, or put them in a cupboard that you don't open all the time, so they're there, like the cookies are there, but maybe make them harder to get to, like put them in the garage in a box on a top shelf. And like, if other people in your family want to eat those things, they know where they are too. And so you're kind of helping everyone. The other thing you can do is just decide on one thing this holiday season that you want to eliminate. That could be gluten, and that could be sugar. That could be maybe both gluten and sugar. But what you're going to notice is, as the days get shorter and the light gets less, a lot of people get what's called SAD, seasonal affective disorder. And so that's just from having less daylight. But when you eliminate sugar and gluten and things like that that raise your sugars in your blood sugar, you're going to notice that if you eliminate those foods, that the depression that maybe you normally would have isn't going to kick in, because sugar is really tied to low moods and to depression. And so I know this time of year, there's so many people that commit suicide or that contemplate suicide. It's just a time of year where a lot of people can feel lonely, especially if you're single. So eliminating sugar can be a huge thing for you. So maybe put that on your list. And we have so many amazing recipes that you can get on purejoyplanet.com, which this podcast is sponsored by. Go over there and check out some of our really fun recipes and learn how to make your own really healthy alternatives. And that's why I do teach what I teach, which is low carb eating, plant-based, whole food eating, because when we're eating healthy, we're happier. And when we're happier, everyone in our lives is happier. So you're doing everyone in your life a favor, starting with yourself, by eliminating sugar and gluten. And, I know a lot of people joke about like gluten being a phase or a fad, or, a lot of people are really resistant to stopping eating gluten. They're like, I'm not doing that. So that's fine. If you can't give up gluten, at least try and give up sugar. Okay. Another thing that you can do is start introducing a fasting ritual. Now, I know it sounds funny this time of year to be like, well, aren't we like, this is a time of indulgence. Yes. So that way you can go and enjoy a party. Maybe you go and just have a great time at your holiday Christmas party or at your friend's party or whatever you're doing. And then know, okay, well, on Sunday or whatever day of the week you pick, I'm just going to have green juice all day. And we have lots of amazing recipes for green juice on the website, including a free juicing course, which you can just go to our online courses when you go on purejoyplanet.com. Click on the online courses and you'll see a free juicing course, and I'll teach you all about how to make your own green juice with a blender and a nut milk bag. So you don't even need to buy a juicer. So if that's going through your mind right now, don't even worry about that. Like, we've got you covered. What my whole goal is with everything I teach is to try and make things as simple and easy for people as possible. And that's the other thing you can do, is to simplify things. Don't try and make things super complicated and all that, like, oh, I have to make all this food. And like, for me, people think, oh my God, you're a gourmet raw food chef. You must eat amazing food. And yes, I do, because I love to cook. But most days I'm eating really simply. I love to eat salads. I do make a green juice. I love to eat my keto coffee, which is like a bulletproof coffee. And you can find that recipe on the website as well. But just keeping things simple. You don't have to make your food super complicated. You don't have to make your life super complicated. Maybe another thing you can do to eliminate stress, which is a big cause of disease and getting sick during the holidays, is that we get stressed out. Oh, I got to buy everybody presents. What our family did years ago is we just stopped doing the buying everybody a Christmas gift. We just picked one person in our family to buy a gift for. And now I'm at a phase in my life which I've been doing for a few years now, is where I just don't do the gift exchange. And if that doesn't sound like fun to you, then, do the gift exchange, but maybe do it in a way where you just keep it super simple. Find a way to simplify your life. And that's just going to make life so much easier. So for me, like, I love to give cards, which is easy. I love to just write what I love about my friend or my family member or someone, and I don't have to stress out about what I want to buy them, because it's also contributing to a lot of consumerism, a lot of things being shipped from China. If we want to be environmental and be planet friendly, ordering on Amazon is not really the best way to do that. So maybe just find ways to just make your own cards, or make a little collage for someone, or make candles, which I did last year for people, or make your own chocolates, or make your own little treats for people versus having to buy gifts. And so instead of saying I'm not going to do a gift exchange if that doesn't feel good to you, what can you make for someone? You can melt down chocolate bars. Literally buy chocolate bars, melt them down, put some little nuts and fun things in them, and reform them into little clusters, and give someone a beautiful little bag of chocolates for the holidays, or make them some cranberry relish, or make them a pumpkin pie or whatever, something healthy, and bring it to them. So that's another really great way just to relieve stress. The other one is making sure you're getting enough sleep. So, going, like I mentioned before, if you're going to be getting up earlier to meditate, which meditation, if you are sleep deprived, meditation can be such a great substitute for sleep. If you're feeling tired and you sit and meditate, even 20 minutes can be like having a couple hours of sleep, because it just does something to your body. It like increases your dopamine. It makes your body just feel better, lowers your cortisol, which are your stress levels. And so you're doing yourself a huge favor. But sleep is really important. So making sure you're darkening your room. I have blackout curtains that I just close up, so my room's really dark. I run an air purifier in my room, which is really great because my air is clean, but also the white noise really just helps to block out any street noises or any other sounds. Like I said, setting an alarm that's not stressful, like the sound of birds chirping or crystals tingling, something super simple and easy, but making sure that you're getting enough sleep, going to bed on time, stopping having any kind of caffeine by 2 p.m. Reminder that kombucha has caffeine in it. I went out with a friend last night and had kombucha, and I did not sleep well because I'm not used to having caffeine at 10 o'clock at night. So just keep that in mind if you are having drinks at night. The kombucha, a lot of different kombuchas can have caffeine in them. The other thing that we want to make sure we're doing during the holidays to reduce stress and just to make ourselves feel better and to stay in good shape and just to be healthy is exercise. And I know everybody harps on exercising, but for me, like what I notice is I feel so good if I can even just get in 20 minutes of cardio of some kind. And so what I do is I have a place in town here that's like this hill that I climb up, and then I climb down, and the view from the top is beautiful. But if you have anything like even just a neighborhood walk that you can walk as fast as you can for 20 minutes or jog, it doesn't have to be 45 minutes. It doesn't have to be an hour, 20 minutes. So 10 minutes out, 10 minutes back. Just set your timer. And if you don't have time to drive somewhere, whatever, just do it from in your neighborhood. Stairs are another great thing. So if you live in an apartment, you're like, oh, there's not even really any great places to walk. If you've got stairs in the apartment, just do a few sets of stairs. My sister, when I visit her in Carlsbad, she's got stairs down by the beach, and we'll just go and run up and down those stairs a few times. And that's an amazing workout. The other one you can do is push-ups and sit-ups in your house. So if it's snowing out or it's cold or you just can't get out of the house, just do a bunch of calisthenics, jumping jacks, sit-ups, push-ups, anything like that. And then just see if you can work your way up from 10 to 20 push-ups within this course of a week. And then doing, more sit-ups or timing yourself with sit-ups. I love to set my timer and then do like a series and just see how long I can hold a plank, for instance, and then work my way up to a minute. And then after that, you can work your way up to 2 minutes. And so challenging yourself is really good. And then also weights are going to be super important as we age, especially for keeping our bones strong and healthy. A few supplements that you can add in this holiday season. One big one that I really highly recommend is vitamin D. And because we're getting less sunshine, we need to make sure we're getting that vitamin D. And you can get it in the form of a spray. Dr. Mercola has a spray. There's all kinds of great vitamin Ds online. It's just so easy to access these days. The other one is B vitamins. I do one by Premier Research Labs called Max Stress B. It's a liquid, and I pour a teaspoon in my water every day and then just drink it throughout the day, making sure I'm getting all those B complex, because stress eats up our B vitamins. B vitamins are tied to good moods. I had a friend who was bipolar, and she said when she runs out of her B vitamins, she notices that the bipolar starts to kind of act up a little bit and her moods start to swing a lot more erratically. And so keeping that B vitamin high in your body, especially if you're vegan, it's super important because we're not getting a lot of B vitamins in plant products. So making sure especially your B12 is being supplemented. So if there's any 2 supplements I can just say, make sure you're doing this winter to keep your mood high and keep from overeating, because a lot of times we overeat because we're trying to enhance our mood. So the way to do that is just your B and D vitamins, okay? And then, basically finding ways to just celebrate life in general. And what I love to do is be grateful. So 3 gratitudes a day. And I'm just so grateful for this body. And that's what I say every day. Thank you, body. I happen to be lucky enough to have been practicing a whole food lifestyle for over 20 years. So I don't have aches and pains. I don't get headaches. I feel really good in my body. I have great eyesight. I have great joints. I love everything about my body. I love my weight. And I didn't always feel that way, but I just started appreciating what I did love about my body. So if you are in pain right now, love the things about your body that are working. Even love just simple things like, I love the way my skin looks today, or I love the way my hair is acting. Or also you can love other people in your life. Wow, I'm so grateful for my spouse, or I'm so grateful for my friend, and name specific people. And I have a big gratitude jar in my living room downstairs, and I'll just do a colored piece of paper every day. And I invite friends that are visiting to do it too. And we just write 3 things we're grateful for on the piece of paper, fold it up and stick it in the gratitude jar. And then see if you can fill that jar up over the year with all your gratitudes. And it can be a fun thing to do with your kids too. What are you grateful for? And so what gratitude does is it creates joy in our life, and it actually makes us focus on the things that are working as opposed to the things that aren't working. So the last thing I want to share with you guys today, this is going to be a short podcast, but is I call it imagination creation. So our imaginations are the most powerful thing that we can access on this planet. And we basically are creating everything through the lenses that we're viewing the world through. And if that sounds silly to you, just think about it. The reason you get stressed out is a thought, right? Like I'm sitting here in this moment, just relaxed, recording to you guys. But if suddenly I remembered I had a meeting that I just missed, or, oh my gosh, someone's coming over and someone that I have to have a difficult conversation with, it would just be a thought, but I could start stressing myself out about that. Nothing's changed in my reality. I'm still completely healthy and fine. No one's cutting my hand off or something, but I'm starting to stress myself out with my thoughts. So when you start just to imagine, what you can do is, like, as you're going to sleep at night, imagine anything you want to manifest in life. If you're stressed out about bills, just imagine that somehow, some way, that just money is going to come to you in an unexpected way. And that's all you have to do. You don't have to think about how it's going to happen. Like, oh, well, that could never happen because I don't know anybody that blah, blah, blah. And you go into the story of it. Just cancel, clear. Whenever you start thinking negative things, just use the words cancel, clear. Cancel, clear. And what that does, it's like an anchor, and it stops the thoughts. And then you're saying, okay, well, as I fall asleep tonight, I'm just imagining somehow extra money is just going to show up in my life. I don't know how. I mean, I could find a $100 bill on the street. Maybe someone I forgot that owed me money is like, oh, I owe you $100. You remember you loaned me that? Or I owe you $20 or whatever. Or you could get a check in the mail from some rebate that you forgot all about. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But you can just start imagining, like, so use that as your first thing, because that's really fun. Just imagine as you're falling asleep that somehow unexpected source of income shows up in your life. And you don't have to think about what the amount is. Just, okay, show me that. And if it doesn't happen the next day, then just do it the next night, just do the same imagination creation until it does show up. And if you're imagining that I want to have more friends in my life, or I want to just have more fun in my life, instead of saying, oh, I'm imagining that I'm going to meet this friend and this is how it's going to happen, just imagine yourself. This is my practice every day that I do. My imagination creation is like, all right, well, there's so many great things I could choose to focus on manifesting or on creating with my imagination. But I'm just going to imagine that I'm happy, healthy, and whole. And that I'm just, as I fall asleep, I close my eyes. I'm just like, okay, I see myself just happily dancing through life. Like life is good. I feel good. I'm happy. I'm joyful. I see me as happy and joyful. I'm high-fiving myself, like in my body, not as this image I'm seeing out of me, but inside myself. I can actually feel my own real body high-fiving myself, like, yay, I'm so happy. Yay, it's so great to feel great in my body. And then you can also see yourself high-fiving a loved one, a friend, someone that cares about you. Yay, look how happy, you know, how great my life is. All these great things are happening. So what that does is it's like an anchor. So that'll anchor that into your reality. And however many nights it takes, you can just anchor that in. If there's someone that you'd love to hear from, imagine getting a letter from them or getting an email or a text, and just imagine what it might say, like, oh my gosh, I've missed you so much, and la la la, and you're such a great friend. And you can just imagine reading that text, like you can just see yourself holding your phone and reading that text or getting the phone call. And so imagine that as you fall asleep. And then one day you're just going to notice there's a text that's going to show up, and it's going to be from this person. It's amazing what you can create with your own mind. So I'm going to leave you with that today, to create your own reality with your imagination. Have fun with it and enjoy having, I'm going to be back, but I know this holiday season is going to be great for you because you're going to imagine everything that you want in your life, and you're going to de-stress yourself through meditation, through breathing, through exercising, through eating healthy, and just make this the best holiday season ever. See you next time.